we're live.
Hi, so my name is Pavni, and today we are with Mr. Ethan Murrell. He is the man behind Ozzy Man reviews that we all love so much. And he's come from Australia. He's in India for 5 days.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Ethan, do you just want to tell our viewers a little bit about what Ozzy Man reviews is all about?
Ozzy Man Reviews is about making people laugh, essentially. That is my cheesy, corny, global mission. So yeah, I started off just making parody and satire videos to do with reviewing Game of Thrones, because I'm a big fan, and then from that it's broadened up a lot, especially in the last year, to just, making parody videos for anything I think is funny, wildlife, sport, hopefully more cricket soon. A lot of people in India request cricket commentaries. Cricket
the
season
reason
is coming.
behind that is because the people at the airport thought he was a cricketer. Am I right?
No, I don't think they really did.
Nah.
But it was just kind of a generic conversation I think we had to have upon entering the country.
Yeah.
And the immigration officer mentioned Brett Lee being in Bollywood films.
The cricket is big here.
Yeah.
It is so big,
Yeah. Well, even when I just turned on the TV, it's like a documentary on Donald Bradman. I was like, no, this is fun. Yeah. Ozzy Man is just about laughter.
That's awesome. We all love to laugh. So yeah, you started this amazing channel some time ago. What made you decide that you wanted to do this? You wanted to start Ozzy Man Reviews?
It was a convergence of a lot of different projects over the course of 10, 11, 12 years. So when I was 17, I did stand-up comedy in pubs in Australia and a little bit in England. Yeah, Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, maybe between ages 17 to 21, a lot of live performing, a lot of stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also really interested in filmmaking, so I studied filmmaking and did independent filmmaking for a while. And then Ozzy Man just kind of came from all these different freelance, creative, independent jobs and hobbies, and those kind of came together. So I took some filmmaking skills with my video editing, being able to do remix, mashup videos, and I took some comedy from my stand-up comedy days and just put these different skills together. So I started it fast, and it caught on with people quite fast. But it was kind of 10 years of learning and
Wow.
the pieces falling into place,
Yeah.
I guess,
I think that is life's biggest purpose, right? To just make all your hobbies fall into one piece together.
Yeah, I think don't ever throw anything out.
Yeah.
Like, done a lot of jobs and a lot of, films and short films and whatnot, and things that maybe didn't really connect with people, but they weren't a waste of time.
Right.
You learn something from if you're into creative work and you have creative ambitions, you learn something from every project all the time. I don't think anything is a waste of time, even if it's a really frustrating project and you do spend a lot of time on it and it's like, this is getting me nowhere. It still might lead to something if you think about what you learned from it and what you get out of it.
Thank you for that great insight. I think people really love to listen to that. Although it's hard to follow on to, I get that. So, to my next question, people initially struggle with the growth process when they start with a YouTube channel. What are a few key things that you think are to keep in mind to help one's channel grow?
Concept is a big thing. Like, before Ozzy Man Reviews, I had another web series and YouTube channel which was called Super Dingo, which we made maybe 3, 4, 5 episodes, but it was a webisodes. It was a big concept. It involved going out and shooting with a crew of 40, 50 people. We had action scenes. It was about a bionic dingo who fought bad guys in the outback in Australia. Very, very kind of cheesy, kind of fun project, but not sustainable as a concept because it was so labor intensive. We couldn't keep the content flowing, and something like YouTube or a Facebook page, it's like stepping on a treadmill. It's once it's going, and especially if it catches on, the concept needs to be good enough that it can last you a while. Like, I hope Ozzy Man Reviews can last a while because it's quite broad. I can review whatever I'm interested in on any day, month or year. Like, I'm interested in Game of Thrones, from 2014 through to when it ends. Maybe Ozzy Man and myself will have a different interest in another 5 years, but the concept is the biggest thing. And yeah, you might have different concepts for channels, and you'll discover what works and what doesn't. And again, you just learn from it and be aware of it, and adapt and try and think of a concept that can be sustainable, especially if it catches on with people. In terms of practical ways to get it to catch on with people, yeah, that's always the tough one. I mean, YouTube keywords and things like that, and trying to get in on trending topics, like Ozzy Man would try to get in on when Game of Thrones is screening in the Olympics and things like that. Getting in on topics that people are already interested in has been big too, and then adding my own voice to it has been big. So yeah, kind of promoting and marketing yourself. It can start really small. It might be that something goes quite well on a social network, whether it's YouTube and Reddit or Facebook, and different. As long as you connect with a few people, it can grow from there. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, apart from yourself, who is your favorite YouTuber?
Oh, apart from myself, I'm not that egotistical.
I mean, if I were a YouTuber, I would say I'm my favorite.
I am my favorite YouTuber. There is no one above me. I loved a lot of channels. YouTube really became something I was interested in around 2012. I think it really had a big boom around about 2012, 11, 13. And I loved YouTubers like Freddie Wong, who would do lots of visual effects videos, and there were little action videos. And I love those. I love comedy sketches. So, yeah, Freddie Wong, I think, even still remains one that I really like. Very different to what I do, but funny. Well, that's synergies in the comedy, I guess. But yeah, anything to do with comedy sketches and stuff like that. These days, it's tough. You don't always get time to watch when you're making things as well. But I'll stumble onto lots of different channels and watch a lot of different things.
Okay. I'll go on to my last question. As a person, what drives you? What is your passion?
Just getting to do what I want to do.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're a creative person, it's like you want your own freedom and your own kind of control, and you want, like, what drives me is just having my freedom to work for myself, and it can be a selfish thing, like Ozzy Man Reviews. I don't collaborate with a lot of people anymore. I used to work with film sets with 30, 40 people, and I've just packed it into just myself and doing my own thing. But that drives me, and it makes me feel good, and it keeps things fresh.
Awesome. I think that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks heaps. Thank you.
Thank you for such great insights, and we're done.